So his name is OG Dings. He was like a gangster, right? Gonna beaten up so many times. And Dings because he had a really big ball. Even though he was paid.
Hi, my name is Shen Tan and I used to be an events and marketing director, and now I'm the owner of Own Self Made Chef, which is a private dining experience. At Own Self Made Chef, I actually like to take local Singaporean flavors and put them into my menus. I started selling food professionally as a hawker at Maxwell Food Centre, selling nasi lemak. Nasi lemak intrinsically is very Singaporean. You think about it, it is a perfect representation of Singapore's cultural mix. We have Chinese style, we have Malay style, and you know, we have the Peranakan style. So I think it's really interesting that in one dish, you can see so many facets of Singapore life. Following that, I actually started Wok and Barrel, which was a modern Singaporean bistro. And then subsequent to that, I actually had Ujong at Raffles Hotel, where we sold, again, modern Singaporean food. The term Mod Sing was actually coined by William Low, who is, fun fact, a schoolmate of mine from Victoria Junior College. So Mod Sing literally means modern Singaporean. And what does it mean? To me, it is really an exploration of ideas. It is really about the modern flavors of Singapore. In Singapore, what I find really fascinating is that the food is a reflection of the melting pot of cultures that we have. And each dish that we have that is truly uniquely Singaporean is a reflection of that assimilation of different cultures. If you think about it, you're really mixing everything up and it's delicious. And that to me is really Singaporean food. My name is Shen Tan. I'm a modern Singaporean chef, and this is my art. My morning routine is actually quite simple. I get up, make some coffee, then sort of run through what I need to do for the day. Quite meditative as well, making the coffee. Sit down and enjoy it, and then think about what I need to do for the rest of the day. If I'm not working, then of course my routine will be going to the gym or having a run. Just go outside, catch a bit of sun in my eyes. Yeah. OG, what's up? What's up, OG Dings? He's very chatty. So we adopted him 5 years ago, and he's actually a stray, and the other cats didn't like him very much, so they kept beating him up, and it was his third time at the vet getting patched up. 1st of July, we went to see him, and we adopted him here. Sit, 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 sit. His name is OG Dings. He was like a gangster, right? Gonna beaten up so many times. And Dings because he had a really big ball. Even though he was paid. So every morning, that's what happens. I'll sit here and he will come. If I don't have work, then there's a lot of reading and even just trying to teach my son something new. So right now, I'm trying to create more content, video content. So there's a lot of watching YouTube. It's my camera. Yeah, so I also have, my cousin works for Sennheiser, so I don't know whether it's all gear, no idea. A very expensive hobby, but okay lah. Rather than drinking alcohol. I left my corporate job in 2008, and I'm glad I did. I learned a lot about myself. The best part about leaving my corporate life would be the freedom that comes with it. You also have the ability to manage your life. In a way, you are better able to manage your stress, you build a better life for yourself. I used to represent Singapore in karate. I went to 2 SEA Games and 1 World Championships. And so a lot of it was training very, very hard, and in this weather, there's no air conditioning. So that's where you learn how to fuel for electrolytes as well as carbs. So yeah, karate was a big part of my life for quite some time. Just from 13 to about 22. Yeah.
Do you have anything to say to your younger self?
I would say to my younger self, you're fine. That it gets better. I don't know why I'm so emotional. But yeah, It was very hard growing up, I think. I struggled a lot for many years. I would say until in my 30s. I actually admire and respect Gen Zs and Alphas because I think they're more in touch with their feelings and aware of the mental struggles that they're going through. Whereas I think as a Gen Xer, we just shoved it all down and drank a lot of alcohol. Yeah. So it's only, at 47, 48 that I said, this is not very healthy, and really started thinking about all these things. Today we are at Tekka Market. I'm here to buy all the things that I'll need for my dinner later on, which is typically coconut milk, because they'll always cook nasi lemak, which is one of my signature dishes, vegetables that we'll need, the herbs that we'll need. I always like to come to Tekka Market because I can get everything I need in one spot. I like to go to Chia's Vegetables because they have all the vegetables I need. I also like to buy the banana leaves that is garnished for us. The theme of the menu that I'm buying today is sambal shenanigans. And tonight we're actually going to explore different sambals. A lot of them I've actually created myself. I came on this menu because I love sambal. There are 250 kinds of sambals in Indonesia, and this is just the tip of the iceberg. So we are currently in Tangming Hall. For Own Self Made Chef, it's always moved around. So I started it as a private dining space in my flat at Commonwealth Close. Then we moved from there to Balestier, and then after that we moved to Seletar. After that we moved to Bukit Merah, and then finally to here. So that's why it says Own Self Made Chef 5.0. It's typically about 3 days to prepare everything. So the first day to make all the sambals, so I had to start that last week. The sambal belacan, the sambal tumis, all the various sambals are. The Singaporean cultural aspect in my food is that there's change. We are constantly looking at new ideas because I think Singaporean is very modern. We're always about change. And it is also similarly that melting pot of ideas and cultures. So I think that is very much reflected in the food that I do. When somebody asks me, can you cook Chinese food? I'm like, I don't really know what Chinese food means. To me, I don't know because I only know Singaporean food. Because that's what I grew up eating, and that is not necessarily Chinese food. The cultural influences that are reflected in my cooking come very much from my grandmother, who was Cantonese, who had a genuine love for feeding people. So she would make a lot of food from scratch, whether they be soups or steamed fish, and really like home cooking style. Mod Sin to me is really a representation of Singaporean flavors. Different flavors, cultural influences that have come in. We have produce from the southern part of the world as well as from northern. So we can actually have access to anything we want. That is what I think moving forward Singaporean food is becoming, what modern Singaporean food is becoming. This is actually a chef's jacket. Traditionally, executive chef will wear the long sleeve. With the long sleeve means that you're not actually doing any cooking. But nowadays, everybody don't care already. Everybody wears short sleeve because it's so hot. So even if you see Gordon Ramsay, he wears a short sleeve. This dough is actually made with a pre-ferment, a Polish, and very little yeast actually. And it's also made with a yogurt, so it's quite soft and it's quite sweet smelling. There's nothing that beats the smell of freshly baked bread. So one of the things I like to do is actually make pizza, because who doesn't like pizza, right? Unless you're a monster. And this pizza dough is actually made with 3 kinds of flour. So you can already see there's a lot of bubbles here. Yeah, a bit like sourdough. We do have regulars who come back for every new menu. Very early on when I ran Wok and Barrel, one of our guests told me that my cooking reminded him of his grandmother's cooking, and that really made me feel very, very warm and fuzzy. With a new menu, there's always a little bit of tension and nervousness, but that's fine. Mary will help you the one. Okay, everybody, thank you for coming. Welcome to the first ever sambal shenanigans. You were like sambal shenanigans, and this menu is very much inspired by my love of sambal. Yeah, everything is going as expected. We're making good time. I'm not nervous anymore because, you know, once service gets going and we are executing it as expected. Yeah, I'm feeling good, relaxed, and having a good time.
I think today's menu is something that excites a lot of people because it's something that Singaporeans love. So we all have, I guess, chili in some way or other. Just a way for her to, I guess, explore all these different things and then add her special touches with regards to sambal into the dishes.
I must say that I never thought I would see sambal in so many incarnations. I'm amazed at how she constantly comes up with all these different themes and the different ways that she puts the ingredients together. I'm just wondering when her creativity will run out, because it doesn't seem close to be running out at all.
So the bread is really just to soak up any of the sauces that you want. You can choose what to eat it as well. Enjoy! And the nasi lemak is the one dish that I started cooking with. So yada yada yada. For all of you who've heard this story so many times. So this is served with a lard sambal. We again cook the sambal rempah in rendered lard. Then we have the bayu po on top of it, so the crispy lardons. Then we have deep fried pork belly. Yeah, enjoy. Singapore's culinary future can be very, very bright. I think even if you just look at the mid-range or even as a hawker, there are so many more young people. As a nation, in order to succeed on the culinary stage, we have to make it economically viable for the younger people to take over. The talent is there, it's just whether we appreciate it. I think you can also look at how the mixing of the cultures can come together. What's next for me for the rest of the year is that I'm going to be taking a 3-month sabbatical. I'll be writing a book, I'll be shooting videos and photographs for that. It's going to be part memoir, part cookbook. It's called Own Self-Made Chef, a recipe for a better life. So it will be recipes that reflected how it brought about a change in my life. We don't exactly need to define what is Singaporean or what isn't. Through my food, I tell my story of the influences of my environment, of my upbringing, and the mixing of cultures I've come across. That is reflected in my food on the plate. It's more than just food. It is my story you're eating.